Here's a story. This is kind of funny because we reviewed that many books that you're going to wonder how this is possible. When the bookstores opened again after COVID, I went to the Magic Bookstore and bought so many books. And every time when I say I'm getting to the end of the queue, I mean those books that I bought at that time. I bought so many books.
Only 4 years later, or 3 years later, I guess.
So, I mean, of course, I've added books on constantly since, but I still have this base queue to get through. And bar the one or two that I've taken out of it, like there's an Iris Murdoch and a George Eliot, there's only one book left in that queue now for next month, Portrait of a Lady. But what we have now, go ahead. We've got a Zola.
Thank you, Alfie.
And this, I don't want to say it was fantastic, but it was good. And
That's how it's been this month.
yeah, a lot of stuff that's good, but not amazing, I suppose.
We'll get there.
So Nana's an actress. She immediately stuns the public by appearing, they say nude, but then it turns out she's kind of scantily clad. But she's on stage.
Yeah, for the time period.
Yeah, it's the usual. I don't know what to call Victorian era France, like that time period in France, but
1800s, yeah.
yeah. So that it's this usual time period, I guess. And she goes makes a scandal with all the men. At one point, the chap goes to talk to the theatre owner, and he literally refers to his theatre as a brothel. So that's his idea. Is just like we'll get the punters with a bit of sex appeal. That's what he wants to do. So Nana's a poor kind of working class girl in the beginning, I guess. She discovers that she can act and she can make, a success of this. And of course, all the men start to court her. And there's a Count Moffat and a few other people. One gentleman is a black gentleman, and unfortunately, they do use the N-word once or twice. But if you can overlook that, the story is grand. Nana's not a great person. I feel bad because she's been corrupted a little bit, She starts out just trying to make her way as an actress. But of course, she's got all these rich men. This is very much like a Balzac or like a Flaubert. It's got that realism bordering into naturalism. These are sad books with bad people, and it ends badly. Nothing ever goes well in these types of books. So things go badly for her at the end, but let's stick to it. So there's 3 or 4 suitors. There's always hangers on. There's always guys trying to get with her. And she essentially ends up being a kind of high-class prostitute, I guess. Like, just guys calling around all the time, giving her so much money. And she's asking for more and more and more money if they want a French Third Republic time period. Okay.
There you go. From 1870 until 1940. There you
go. So these guys, always coming, giving her money. At one point, there's 2 twins, and they're arguing like, "Are you gonna marry my brother?" And she's mean to all the guys. She's like, "You're not even that good anyway," and why would I ever get with you? I would go with your brother, and she's kind of cruel to them. There's no good people in this book, right? She's not a good person, but also the guys are trying to be so weird and possessive. Count Moffat likes her, so he's like outside her house watching to see if other men are going in, stalking, and feels so betrayed.
That's how it was with the high-class courtesans and prostitutes and all that, so...
And he feels lied to, and then he's walking around, in the rain, getting his clothes destroyed and feeling sad for himself. There's a big bit of sexism that I don't like here. It's okay for him, apparently, to cheat on his wife with his prostitute, but when they find out that his wife is also cheating on him, even Nana is like, "Well, how can I respect you now? You're a cuckold." And just laughs at him and makes fun of him.
Okay, but also, how is it his fault?
Also that,
yeah. I think that's the bigger issue. Why is that a...
There's no sympathy. So the big themes in the book seem to be people just not being nice, treating each other badly, lust, of course. I mean, Nana's nudity is this they're enraptured by it. When they see her lying on the bed nude, everyone's just captivated by her and this kind of feminine body, and that's a big part of it. She's referred to as a goddess and a Venus and this type of thing,
At some point, I need to read Moll Flanders because this seems like a very similar type of idea. I don't know if you've read.
Not read it either. I don't know.
Another Defoe.
I don't know that one. But she's mean to all the guys. She'll have tantrums, and she'll tell her the guys are waiting in the waiting rooms and everything, and she'll say, "Kick them all out. I'm not in the mood today." Then one of them will walk into the room and find her in bed with someone else. She takes on one guy who becomes a kind of official boyfriend. Then he just abuses her and beats her. And then when you start seeing him treat her badly, your first instinct is like, well, she's treated everyone else badly. But then he treats her so badly, like, oh, I feel really sorry for Nana now. This guy is really bad. And she just gets used to just being covered in bruises and being beaten and all this kind of stuff. It's really bad. And then at one point, of course, he cheats on her and just tells her, like, oh yeah, I'm shagging this girl. Get out of my house,
She's a cuckold. See, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, and then you feel sorry for her, but also, she's also a terrible... There's no good people in this book, actually.
That can sometimes be fun, though. You can just enjoy hating everyone. But you usually want someone to back up.
The only person I would say who is good is Nana's... I don't know if it's her mother or aunt, but there's one lady who kind of was looking after her, but she gets banished from the house when she ends up dating the guy. Nana has a kid. They do not know which guy, she's like, some lower class guy got you pregnant at one point. Kid's not allowed in the house with the guy, sends the kid away, so the mother is looking after the kid. And she always says to Nana, look, whenever things get too tough, you can just come and stay with me. But Nana's a bit too defiant and wants to tough it out. So she's a nice character, but she's a minor character. She only appears twice, The rest of the time, it's just a bunch of guys who really just want to
use
her. One of them is physically assaulting her cruelly, and then she's also terrible as well. Now, you got to be careful because it's a lot of you got to be careful. Those women and their beauty will ensnare you. It's well, that's your own fault to an extent, And it's oh, look what she's done to me. She's used her beauty to destroy my life. And it's you didn't have to pursue her so aggressively, you gotta take some responsibility there, So I don't love when it gets like that, and it's too much getting a bit incel-y there, almost blaming the women,
Yeah. Oh, if she weren't so pretty, okay, control yourself, mate.
Yeah. But then also she's terrible because at one point someone loves her so much she kills himself in front of her, and she's like, oh, silly boy stabbed himself. Look at this, steps over him. She's terrible as well.
Yeah, but also I'm more on her side in that case because that's a very incel type thing. It seems like I don't. Yeah. Please,
no, it is.
Seek help if you need help, please.
Yes, please do. There's no redeeming quality of her or really of anyone else. Count Moffat really, really wants her, and at the end he's prepared to put up with her lovers. Obviously at the beginning he's not. At the end he's I just want to be with you, so I'm so obsessed with you that I don't even care if you're with all these other guys, And I'm not going to spoil it. It doesn't end well for her, okay? These things never do. It doesn't really end well for anyone.
It didn't sound like it would. If it did end well, I think it would be a bad ending. Yeah,
because this style of book never ends well. You read a Balzac or you read a Flaubert. Those are I really want you to read a Flaubert sometime. It's just imagine if...
I saw some at the Magic Book Shop.
Imagine if every person is terrible. I think I've got one or two as well. Every person is terrible. They do horrible things to each other, and they're all sad at the end. I cried at one of them. I was but I can't cope. Where are the good people? Not in Third Republic France, apparently.
Yeah, no.
She gets really above her station at one point, and guys are, won't pay her money on time, so she kicks them out, and then they come back with the money, and she's like, it's not about the money, it's about my pride. If you gave me $1 million now, I wouldn't speak to you for 30 seconds. I'm not a beggar, get out of my house, So it's just, everyone is just terrible, basically. I have nothing else to say about it. Just imagine no good people, and then they all have a lot of sex, and she gets beaten and covered in bruises, and it's really sad.